Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all in your secretarial practice class 12th standard. As you people already know that we are on the lesson number 2, sources of the corporate finance. We have discussed so many topics in the lesson number 2. So out of the many topics, this is the last topic which we are going to cover, that is ADR and the GDR. ADR means American Depository Receipt and GDR means Global Depository Receipt. So ADR and GDR both are the depository receipt where the Indian company can raise the funding in the international market. There is another receipt also which I have included, that is the IDR, Indian Depository Receipt, where the Indian person can be a part of the foreign company. That means the Indian person can be an investor in the foreign countries. So we are going to discuss in the detail about the ADR and the GDR. So in the international market, capital market, what is capital market? Capital market means where the long-term funding can be provided to the company. So here you can sell your equity share, you can sell your borrowed capital. When you issue the bond into the foreign market, you have to issue euro bonds and foreign bonds. When you are selling to equity share to the foreign investor, you have to issue ADR as well as you have to issue the GDR, ADR and GDR. Now this paragraph again taken from your textbooks, where we are going to discuss about the ADR and the GDR. In India, the shares of the public company are listed or unlisted. We have already discussed about it in the 11th standard, then where we said that a company has to list it themselves with the particular stock exchange. And what are the stock exchange we have? We have a stock exchange like the Bombay Stock Exchange, as well as we have a national stock exchange. So through the process of the globalization, modern economy, so companies are not only traded with the home countries, but they are also doing the trading with the foreign countries, with the foreign market. So policy of each and every stock exchange is different in every country. So it is difficult for Indian companies to sell their shares directly on foreign stock exchange. So they get listed directly using the ADR and the GDR, which can be traded in USA and the Europe Stock Exchange. As you can see the paragraph, the stock exchange like New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and the Nasdaq in the Dubai. So there are many stock exchange where the Indian companies can trade it to themselves through the ADR and GDR receipt. Another paragraph related to ADR and GDR. As you can see that the paragraph information, what it is said, ADR and GDR both are the receipt. What is the difference between them? The difference is related to the location only. If the receipt is traded in America, that means if your investor is related to the America, the Indian company will issue the ADR to them. And if the trade is related to the Europe country, then Indian company have to issue the GDR receipt to the investor. Non-resident Indian like NRI, foreigner, they can invest their money in the India through the ADR and the GDR. They can buy ADR and GDR through using their equity trading account. Now there are some information related to the stock exchange. So what are the stock exchange? Those who are dealing in the ADR and the GDR, as you can see that London Stock Exchange, Luxembourg Stock Exchange, Nasdaq in Dubai, Singapore Stock Exchange, and Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Now comes to understand about the concept and process of ADR and GDR. So being an Indian company, you cannot contact directly to the foreign investor for the funding purpose. So what you have to do, being an Indian company, you have to come into the contract with the domestic custodian. It is the one of the type of the organization where company hold their equity share with the domestic custodian. So after getting the information from the company, they transfer. Who will transfer? Domestic custodian will transfer the share information, update information to whom? To the overseas depository bank. Overseas means बाहर के जो डिपॉजिटरी बैंक होंगे, इंफॉर्मेशन कहाँ जाएगी? वहाँ जाएगी थ्रू दी डोमेस्टिक कस्टोडियन. दे विल प्रोवाइड द इंफॉर्मेशन टू दी overseas depository bank. They will do the collaboration with them. They will communicate with them to sell the Indian equity share to the foreign investor. Now after getting the information from the domestic custodian from the Indian companies, what overseas depository bank will do? They will issue the ADR and GDR to the foreign investor, those who are interested to invest into the Indian companies. So after getting the receipt of the ADR and GDR, they will be considered as the owner of the company. They will be a part of the company. Another picture to explain you about the ADR and GDR through this picture. As you can see that there is a Indian company and it is a overseas investor. Overseas investor means बाहर के investor. So there is a big gap between them. So what a company have to do? Company have to do the agreement with the domestic custodian. That means company hold their equity share with whom? With the domestic custodian. So they will perform all and each activity. They will do all the paperwork on behalf of the company. So they both have to come into the contract. So domestic custodian have to collaborate. Domestic custodian have to come into the agreement with the overseas depository bank. That means overseas depository bank are those banks which are situated in the foreign investor home countries. So again there will be a contract between the domestic custodian and the overseas depository. Domestic custodian will provide the information related to the all equity share, so the overseas depository can sell their equity share to the overseas investor after issuing the ADR and the GDR. So that means Indian company cannot sell the equity share to the foreign investor. They have to come into the contract with the domestic custodian, and domestic custodian will come into the contract with the overseas depository bank, and the overseas depository bank will provide the ADR and GDR. That means that is the acknowledgement receipt to whom? To the overseas investor. Here are some examples where the Indian companies are issuing the ADR and GDR to their foreign investor, like Bajaj Auto, Dr. Reddy, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. As you can see that ICICI Bank, they have a foreign investor from the America as well as from the European countries. Like MTNL again they have an investor from the America as well as they have an investor from the European countries. Infosys Technology, they have a investor from the America as well as they have an investor from the European countries. Summary of the video. What we have learned in this video, we have learned about the ADR and the GDR, where we said that both are depository, and ADR is stand for American Depository Receipt and GDR is stand for Global Depository Receipt. ADR issued to the foreign investor of America and GDR is issued to the European countries investor. And what is IDR? IDR means when the Indian person interested to invest in the another countries, he will get the IDR, receipt. So remaining topic we will continue in our next video with the new lesson and with the new heading.